what I'd like to do now is switch to part 2, and that's the map library. So again, from your home page, if you're a user, a member, I should say, you're going to see this left-hand side. And one benefit is called the map library. So you would click on this and just wait for the computer a bit. Let me see if I can zoom this up a bit here so you can actually read it. There we go, it's a little better maybe. Okay, so the map library is basically like an event. And it basically, you go through it and it says, Gary James is our librarian, and I'll introduce Gary shortly. And we just posted this event for, I don't know, 2 years from now. And we talk about what the map library has. So basically, the WCA has been in existence since 1973. So we got roughly 48 years of maps and information from past members or members that are retired, and they gave us their trip notes, they gave us their marked up maps, etc. So what Gary's done is he's taken all the maps and he's put them in order. So these are the numbers where you would find a map, the title of the map, and what it pertains to. So we've got maps from all over Canada. So you go scrolling through this list, and we might even have a little bit more than this now. This list gets updated, say, once a year. So you get to the bottom here. This is the end of the maps. And then we have other maps. These are maps you can buy online, like at the Adventure Map, Algonquin 123. We've got some various, M&R kind of maps. So you can go scrolling through this, Canadian Wildlife Service, something map. What else we got here? Various pieces of information, Frost Center, Albert Highline Trails. So you kind of scroll through, it's more or less in order. You can find the river or the lake or the park you want to go to, and you might hit something in there. We also have, so you can see there's more M&R stuff here. A lot of these M&R things are like 10, 20 years old. So it's good information, and really can't find this information any longer. This is the source then. We also had, like I mentioned, past members who have retired. They've donated their journals and their trip reports. So again, we have a long list of rivers and stuff and trips reports and maps. We also have a selection of books. You can recognize Kevin Callan's there, some M&R books, Hap Wilson's, Bill Mason, Kevin Callan again. So that's the information available. So how you access this information is basically go down to the bottom. And again, you got to click on these links and all 3 of them. And because you read them once, you just click on them and go back to the home page. Click the 3 buttons that are now illuminated. Type in your information, sign up. And what happens is, it's like I'm signing up for an event. Gary on his side, who's in the audience, would get an announcement saying, hey, Gary Adaman just pushed the button and has contacted you. So I guess what I'll do now is I'll stop sharing and I'll introduce Gary. Let's see if I can find my screen here.
I do have your email. It's come in already.
Oh, excellent. Well, hopefully you approve me. Okay, I just got to find my unshare button here. Let me just find it here. Okay, found it. Okay, sorry, Gary.
Yeah, no problem. I do not have any administrative access to that page. As you stated out, if I take it over, I'm stuck with it, and you guys at your end can't deal with it. So I think it was left in Matt's hands to play with and work out all the bugs. The list on there is outdated. I've received several more maps and books since that's posting. So what happens is you reach out, you let me know what you want. I can actually send you now an Excel spreadsheet with all the maps, which one of the things Isadora liked because you can actually search the Excel sheet by name or by number and find out what's around.
Okay, this is good to have Isadora on the line, because then you're like a user.
Yeah,
that
I realized afterwards when they were coming, but I didn't want anybody doctoring the master.
Right.
Yeah. So no, I mean, it's been good. I've got people right now looking for the Horton River and the Keel River. They've contacted me. The Keel River is really good because it's down at Leslieville in the beaches area, and I'm gonna meet up with him and drop it off. The Horton River, though, the guy lives in the States and he wants it mailed down there. So it's going to cost him an arm and a leg to mail it down and back, but it's at his expense. He's willing to do it. That's okay.
Yeah. So what generally happens is you mail it, and that person who's a member, photocopies it, whatever, and they keep it for a couple weeks, month, whatever, and then they send it back to you, right?
Yes. Well, and I'm in no rush until the next person wants it. Right. And that has happened as well. Last year, the French River, I had someone contact me, wanted the French River package. I sent it out. And during that time, a second person came on and said, I'm doing the French River. I was able to connect the two. And sure enough, their trip overlapped a little bit. And they were able to start exchanging information about the trip and adding to the package as well. So when I finally got the package back, both of them had added more information to it so that I can give it out to the next member as well. So
that's beautiful. Yeah. The other thing I think you do, Gary, is because you've been in the club so many years, you can connect the dots between somebody wants something and a person that did the river, park, whatever, 10, yes. 20 years ago. Well, that is a real advantage for new members.
Isadora's looked at something. She's gone on a lot of trips and borrowed the maps. Someone calls me for a trip that Isadora's been on. I'll say, hold on, and I won't directly link because I don't know if Isadora wants that or any member. So I'm the middleman until they both accept it, and then connect them and off they go.
Yeah, so that's excellent.
Networking is very important, and the club is very good for that.
It's an honor system.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gary, do you have a list of rivers people have done who are in the club?
Yes.
No.
Well,
sorry. Yeah.
Yes and no. Yeah. Yes and no. We have that list that you see. We were trying to populate a map, and let me see if I can bring that up. There's only maybe about 7, 8 of us who populated so far. Just give me a second here.
I can tell you who donated what maps, and if they're still around and active, I can connect you with them. Same with the trip reports. Anybody that's submitted a trip report, I can connect you with them as well.
Yeah, there's a feature here somewhere. I gotta find it.
The Nostogwin's good for that too. Go into the archives, who's done what, hosted a trip, and I've reached out a couple of times to them.
Right.
Barely search my CCR. You can look for stuff for people and connect with them there. And honestly, in this club, as far as I can tell, there's like 2 degrees of separation. You probably know somebody who knows somebody who's done it, or at least know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's done it. Like, ask a bit.
And pre-COVID, the bonus was you're planning your trip so far in advance. There's usually a social meeting somewhere in between, and I can bring it to the meeting and give it to you there. And you give it back to me at the next social meeting afterwards. So it's a good handoff. And at the same time, you can meet other people that have been on the trip.
Gary, James, do you have any idea what's happened to Jeff's maps? They've disappeared. You can't get them anymore. Is that?
Yeah. Jeff separated from the company, and he started another map line.
Unlostify.
What? Called what?
Unlostify. They're really good. Google up Unlostify, and you can.
If you go to the chat, if you turn on your chat, Andy, Matt just answered your question. He wrote. Well, he's about to write a link, I guess. No, but he says Unlostify. Yeah.
Got it.
Excellent. I wanted to show you one other feature. You asked this question, Andy. And I'll share my screen again. So let me go back to the home page. We started this about a year ago, but we need to get back on with, having members fill it in. This thing, got to fight with my screens here. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Okay, can you see my screen, my home screen?
Yep.
Okay, so on the home page, you just go down here to member experiences in the benefits section. And what happens is there's a Google map there with a bunch of pinpricks on it. So you just kind of drag it around like Google Maps, okay? And generally what happens is members, and theoretically this is color coded, blue is Gary and, Bill is purple and, somebody else is green. But I mean, it's all over the place right now. But what we've done is we've individually, members have gone in and put in, okay, I did this river and this is the put in and this is the takeout. So you can click on, the first end, and that means somebody's done this. Now, behind the scenes, we could click on this because we have access to the Google Drive and find out who did that river. And now connect the dots between, yeah, somebody's done whatever. So what we're trying to do is populate this. And we've got maybe 7, 8 members who've done it right now, but we need to kind of, go in there and actually, so if I zoom in, to the Whitby area, I've canoed around, wherever Whitby. Now let me turn that off there. So, I put in here and taken out there and whatever, So that's the idea, that we're kind of saying that, this is the put in take out of various rivers or lakes or whatever. And eventually, populate, the whole Canada, US, whatever, with members' input. So that's kind of going the way where you're asking the question, do you have a list? Well, it's kind of started, but it's, it's in its infancy, basically.
You said that you as the administrator knows whose dot belongs to whom. Yeah. But the member who's just looking at it cannot tell who it is.
Yeah, okay. And it wouldn't be worthwhile because you would say, okay, it's the Firth River. And if it was Gary James, you don't have Gary James's contact information. So you'd have to come back to us. We're trying to make it so it's not like we're sharing the members' database, but we're sharing an aspect of it, but we become the middleman. But once we connect the dots to say, Andy's interested in something that, Gary James did, everybody okay? And then you connect the dots, right? So that's the idea. Right. But we started this about a year ago, but we haven't pushed it to really populate it because we've got 475 members right now. If everybody populated one river, we'd have 475 dots on there, and most people have done 5, 10, 20 rivers. Now there'll be a duplication. So if you already see a river that's been indicated, well, then you don't have to put yours, of course. But you could see in Southern Ontario, well, I can see there's a lot of dots. So, most stuff has been highlighted right now.
Gary, could you pull up the outing screen again? I couldn't see where the map was listed on the left-hand list. I'm wondering if I'm missing it completely, or I'm seeing a different screen than you are.
Okay, well, maybe that's the issue, is because I'm an administrator. Maybe that screen is not live yet. So this is it right here. Benefits, map library, partner match, member experiences, and outings insurance. What do you see?
I see benefits, partner match, outing insurance, and then club activities. The member experiencing and it's not there.
Do you see the map library?
No, I just see partner match and outing insurance.
Okay, am I the only? That's interesting. Okay.
Anybody else?
So maybe what's happened is maybe our access is not turned on there. So we'll have to check that. I know you can get to the map by obviously going to December of 2023, as a future event, which is right actually here, upcoming events, because we only have this event, the hot tent in January, Cliff Jacobson's talk in January, and the fourth event is this one. You can get to it from here if you see my mouse over here. But I guess I'll have to look into that and make sure those pages are turned on then.
I have it. I can see it on mine, and I'm not.
Yeah, because you're probably an administrator in a way.
I can see it as well, by the way.
Can
so
you?
It's not
Okay.
just a question of admins.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm wondering, maybe if you can't see it, maybe are you logged in, or are you still there
that's
as
it.
kind of anonymous?
That's it. You have to be logged in.